Is this worth it? I don't know if it's worth it. There's something going on with the expansion as well. Oh no, Foggy! He's gonna barely get it. Does he get it? The temporal, no way! No way, 14 HP!
Because I think they all dead on the right-hand side. Panda down to 50%. Okay, oh no, he split them! 2096! Here's the split! Earth summons fire, saves the Panda! And maybe so it's tournament life! Falls left!
The Panda!
What the? No!
Zeppelin! Fred! No way! The high ground! The Shaman totally get it! No, he doesn't!
해피 선수가 보통 항상 결승을 가지만 저는 많이 떨어졌기 때문에 만날 기회가 없었는데 제가 드디어 원하던 1티어 대회 우승을 차지하는 데 있어서 굉장히 또 좋은 상대라고 생각이 들고요. 최근에 굉장히 많이 치고 해피 선수가 여기까지 올라오면서 진짜 어마어마한 모습을 보여줬지만 이번엔 제가 꼭 이기고 우승을 하도록 하겠습니다.
Losing in finals will be pretty bad, so for me it's just only about winning now.
Are you ready to lose?
Let's get it on.
It is time to write another chapter to the already rich history of Warcraft 3 as we enter a grand finals of epic proportions. Night Elf versus Undead, LawLiet versus Happy. I am joined by Todd and Carson over here at the desk as we are going to start previewing this grand finals where the winner will walk away with $50,000. Carson, in StarCraft 2 we have a saying, if the semi-finals are one-sided, we get a phenomenal final. Do you believe in this magic?
I hope so. I really do. I think LawLiet has proven that he was a little underestimated at the beginning of the tournament and throughout the tournament even too. So I think he'll show up to play and, you know, Moon maybe didn't perform perfectly, but LawLiet, I have high hopes that he will.
All right, Johan, I'll get back to you soon, but obviously we want to hear from you guys at home who you think is going to win this grand finals and become the undisputed champion of Warcraft 3 in the year 2021. Hashtag HAP for Happy or hashtag Law for LawLiet, and we'll check back in with you guys later on. Johan, Happy has been absolutely phenomenal throughout this entire tournament. 10-0, he's been tested in multiple matchups as well. He beat Sock, he beat So, and he 3-0'd Focus, he 3-0'd Moon. How do you stop the Russia War Machine?
You need as close to a flawless game as possible, and to be honest, in the last series, that's what we saw from LawLiet against Hitman. He was very close to flawless, didn't make many mistakes, punished every single mistake that was made by Hitman, but now he goes up against, I want to say almost Mr. Perfect, because Happy rarely makes any mistakes. If he loses, and you listen to what he has to say about some of these losses, it's because he had bad item drops, and I believe it at this point, because I feel like I almost never see him lose. LawLiet, however, he has a 24% win rate against Happy so far in tournaments. It might not seem like much, but trust me, this is far above anybody else.
We're going to take a look at the head-to-head to see how these two shape up against each other. Carson, Happy has been close to perfect. It's almost sad when you have to look at his games to be like, you know what? He could have killed that hero with Nova alone, but he used Coil Nova. That's like the biggest mistake he's made all tournament long. Like, how does a man play this close to perfect Warcraft 3?
Yeah, and he's been like that online as well, and then he comes offline and he's just a straight killer still. Worth noting though, the last time they played LawLiet and Happy in ESL Open Cup 83, which is about 9 weeks ago, LawLiet actually won. And that was on bad ping, that was on a European host. LawLiet probably had about 150 MS, so there is not high hopes, but definitely hopes.
As we're going to take a look at the picks and bans that they're coming in, I do want to address the amazing story that Happy has coming into this career. Because Todd, in 2008, he was already a phenomenal Warcraft 3 player. He crowned himself European champion, and I actually think Happy was even better than the results truly show. But perhaps it was the race holding him back then, or the map pool. He had a little side adventure to StarCraft 2. He was good in StarCraft, but eventually he returned to his one true love, that is Warcraft 3. I kind of feel that all the years of him dominating in Warcraft 3 have been leading up to this moment.
Absolutely, and it seems like him being a pro player on StarCraft to also help perhaps some aspects of his play. In Warcraft 3, he was one of the more patient player, more calculated out there. He was willing to do things that other players weren't willing to do back when he played Terran also, like always going to the longer macro games, for example. And maybe he just learned to care the most about finding the most perfect way for him to play the game, and it really translates into like his Warcraft 3 games where he's always looking for either the best timing or the best timing to attack or to expand. And we see him become so much more versatile than in the past. In the past, it was always the same build in all matchups, just DK Fiend, and it looked very repetitive, and he was being criticized for that. Nowadays, we see him with so many different strategies, adapting to the opponents perfectly from map to map, and he's really putting it together beautifully.
A lot of love and a lot of praise for Happy, but obviously we got to give the same amount of praise to LawLiet, who has had some success in his career. He's won a tournament in 2017, he's won a tournament in 2021 as well. He had some success in the team leagues, but what is kind of missing is that one crowning achievement, and this would obviously absolutely be it, Carson.
Yeah, this is already quite a big achievement for LawLiet, but getting that first place is something that he hasn't done a ton of times, and he had a little bit of adversity through this tournament, but definitely I think, again, I'll say, he was underestimated coming into it. He was not considered to be one of the top 4 players here. We thought it would definitely be Moon if a Night Elf in the Grand Finals, and here he is, and he just showed a very good performance in the last series. So I have, again, very, very high hopes. I think if anyone could do it, it is going to be LawLiet.
I love a cliche, if anyone can do it. All right, it is time for us to get our official talent predictions in. I don't want to start, guys, so I'm going to start off with my good friend, Johan Merlo. Todd, kick us off. What do you think it's going to be?
I'm sick and tired of people doubting LawLiet, so I'm on the bandwagon now that's being created. It's the hype train. He's been playing amazing. I think he might be able to do it. I love the content piece that we saw before we came back live here, where he said that he heard that Happy was pleased with having LawLiet as opponent in finals. He pulled a Michael Jordan or so. He was like, and I took that personally, so now it's personal. I think LawLiet is going to take it 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say a cliche and then not go with my boy LawLiet, so let's say 3-2 as well for LawLiet.
I really wanted to go LawLiet, but if both of you guys would have gone Happy, but since both of you guys went LawLiet, I'll go with what I do think is going to happen, and is that Happy wins. But I do believe that LawLiet is going to push him to the limit. My official prediction is 3-2 for the man who was the European champion in 2008, showed a bit of love to StarCraft, came back to Warcraft, and has been dominating ever since. I do think it's going to be one hell of a great final, though. Let's go ahead and see what you guys at home think is going to happen in one of the biggest best of 5 that we have ever seen in Warcraft 3. That is a 77% in favor of Happy. I mean, Johan, we can't really blame the people at home. The man hasn't dropped the map.
Yeah, that's very close to his actual win rate against LawLiet, so perhaps they knew of that and he translates really well. It's going to be interesting to see what game plan LawLiet shows up with. Happy is just so good against standards. You might want to mix in a few different things here and there, even though LawLiet has had perfect execution so far today. In the recent series that they played, which LawLiet won, again with a higher ping, on map number 3, Autumn Leaves, he played with the Demon Hunter first, so we might see a little cameo from the Demon Hunter, but other than that, it should be Keeper into Demon and Dryads and Expansion and just trying to rely on flawless execution. There is no shortcut to victory here. There is no cheese. Yeah. There is no, 18 probes, 4 gates like in StarCraft or anything like that.
Yeah,
Carson, final thoughts?
Yeah, he's been a little bit less pure standard at times, LawLiet. I think he'll be more willing to play the one base, and rely on just execution, rely on his micro. So I think LawLiet, we'll see how on point he is. He was able to win strategically against Hitman, but I think he has to win mechanically against Happy.
Love it, boys. Well, we are obviously excited. Hopefully you guys at home are as excited as we are. I know 2 other people in the building that are very excited. The biggest Happy fanboy and the biggest LawLiet fanboy. Couldn't be any better. The Golden Boys are back to Warcraft. Take it away.
The last dance of the DreamHack ESL circuit. 2 years leading up to this, from Anaheim into the seasons, into the regional finals, and now here we are to crown a new world champion and give away $50,000 for the winner. One best of 5 remains.
The biggest players, the biggest tournament, the biggest prize pool. The longest wait we've had for this decision. I can already feel my heartbeat rising for these players now. All the pressure on their shoulders, but they must keep calm and cool in this tremendous situation.
High pressure. You more than double your prize money in this beautiful game. 2021 is the year and map 1 is on. Grand final of the DreamHack. In the upper right hand side, he's the challenger, aiming for his first Tier 1 title from Korea for the Night Elves is LawLiet.
And the bottom left, the man who nobody so far was able to beat, the Dominator, the Emperor, Happy.
Not only did he reach this grand final without dropping a single map, no, on this patch, Remo, Happy hasn't dropped a single best of 5.
3 best of 3s. All right, we give him that. One was with Orc, by the way, against Blade. But man, how do you beat perfection?
You know, it is almost impossible to do, as we've seen many times before, but also LawLiet was one of the few in the past to be able to do it, oftentimes with his own style, with the Warden that he's so famous for. But here it's no Warden, neither is it a Keeper. We're starting off with a Demon Hunter first for the Korean.
Okay, he's of course saw the games of Happy versus Moon and he saw that Keeper isn't working. We talked to him. Keeper isn't working, it's too fragile. LawLiet, of course, we have to talk about this. Former teammate of 1-0, the best undead in Asia. And these guys played a million custom games together, figuring out how to beat the best undead in the world. And then they met each other at the NEXT Grand Final just 2 weeks ago, and it was a 3-0, 4-1-2-0. Is that a little giveaway for what we have to expect here in the Grand Final?
I certainly don't hope so, and I don't think there's too much reason to believe that. The reason why I have especially trust in LawLiet's ability with the Demon Hunter is I, for quite some time, have had the feeling that LawLiet's micro in this matchup, Night Elf versus Undead, is the best in the world. We've even seen that on Hyping. We've seen it in many different situations, especially in one base versus one base. LawLiet stands out, in my view, above the rest, and he's gonna need that, of course. Happy, flawless in almost every single aspect so far that we've seen. LawLiet will have to bring his very best.
The first task, of course, take one map off of Happy. Nobody was able to achieve that yet. If the series starts that way and on Concealed, that is definitely doable. I can totally see LawLiet picking up pace, gaining momentum, and take the series all with him. Claws of Attack, very good start. Mantle for the second hero, probably not too shabby. This is what he wants. He needs good items. Todd said it on the cast, and it's not a meme. It's definitely true. You need incredible items to beat this man. Happy, by the way. I wonder how much pressure is on him. Everybody knows he's the one to beat. In the interview, he looked pretty confident, but I wonder now with so much money on the line, does it do anything to him?
Yeah. Is it about the money? Is it about the prestige? Is it about the honor and respect as well? Whoever wins this one is going to be etched into the history books for all time. The biggest prize money, the biggest tournament, and all the respect and admiration that is going to come with it. One best of 5 to decide it all. As we have a pretty slow early game so far, just creeping for the time being. They're taking it slow so far.
Yeah, that might be due to the nerves, right? You don't want to commit too hard in the early game when you're not really warmed up yet, when you don't feel the rhythm too much. Demon Hunter and Boots, Remo. I know you love that one.
Yeah, Demon Hunter is gonna, of course, have that mana burn in the late game to work with super powerful spell, especially against Undead. But it's short range. You need to get to the right position. Undead, of course, always very speedy with an Unholy Aura. For that reason, Boots usually mandatory. Level 3, plus some claws and stuff, and Boots makes the Demon very strong. But we talked about that earlier in the Moon series. It's also map reliant and Concealed Hill. As we can see right now, not so easy for the Night Elf to creep. Demon Hunter still pretty far away from level 3. Happy also not there yet. Flirting for the first time with a bit of aggression, but LawLiet is back at home, ready to defend. That Wisp Scout, by the way, was crucial. Very well done there earlier by LawLiet, seeing where the opponent was. And we still haven't had a kill so far in our first map of the Grand Final.
True, not even the Wisps here. Well done. No. Don't stay 4 out of 5. The Night Elves, recently they've been cursed by this 4 out of 5, and that is the first major mistake of the Grand Final. We have to keep an eye out on that Entangled Gold Mine. When will LawLiet finally fix this?
Very painful. This is 20% income missing at the moment. In the online DreamHack seasons, it's actually happened quite a bit. If you're off on 2 base, alright, it's gonna be fixed now. Alright, what was that? Like 20 seconds maybe? It was not that much gold, all things considered. Fortunately, he figured it out quickly enough.
Little difference already compared to Happy's series versus Moon. That Acolyte was killed. Happy didn't send it into the creep, so also there, not a perfect play. Maybe it is the nerves getting to them, but man, constant pressure by Happy, constant poking. He's blocking, aiming for that surround, which of course very, very doable with the ghouls. LawLiet has no staff, no real way to get out of it. And no detonate here. The first Wisp down to the Demon Hunter under constant threat, and LawLiet is trying to go for a Naga as well.
Yeah, I think the Demon Hunter is not strong enough to be able to allow a Panda here. If he goes for a Panda without level 3 Demon, I think Happy can just do too much damage with a Naga of his own, looking for surrounds and kills. But now with the Naga, with the target fire, these ghouls definitely don't have the easiest time. Happy is going to go for the Lich second, probably Naga third later on. And we're cruising towards the mid-game, one base only. Almost every Night Elf in the world deems it impossible to beat Happy off of one base, but LawLiet has the confidence to try.
Yeah, and in the past he has shown that he can make the impossible work, especially with creep routes when everybody said, Warden? That hero? Nobody plays it. He brought her back and yeah, found ways to make it work. I really like Happy's play here. This constant poking, this constant aggression. It's like, okay, you are not too familiar to Grand Finals with your third one. I'm gonna make this as uncomfortable as possible for you.
Yeah, he was poking, looking for a bit of openings. Maybe he gets the Hunter's All, maybe he gets the surround on the Demon or on the Archer, gets something done early, but LawLiet reacted very well. Got that level 3, going for the first big play of the game. The red camp creep. Oh, Warlord almost running out. That just barely is a surround. Nice movement as well. Look how much he's minimizing the damage that he's taking. He's getting attacked in the meantime in the main. Khadgar's Pipe, one of the best items in the game. Perhaps not so useful for the Demon, but for the rest of the army, certainly wonderful.
I always love this item because it regens the mana, of course, and for Dryads and the heroes, if you have a lot of mana, then you can heal up cheaper. Okay, first ghoul down, that lore, crucial moment, LawLiet saves it. Might need a little bit more repair. Can detonate if he wants to eliminate that threat of the skeletons. But okay, first exclamation mark, Happy is trying something, and LawLiet shuts it down.
Yeah, and you know, this whole tournament has been perfect play so far by Happy. Normally, when he commits for something, when he does the calculations in his head, it always works out. Here, he's off for once, but what he did get was the shop cancel. And that means no Orb of Venom for a little while, and that's relevant. This Demon Hunter will only be a threat if he has the Orb.
Demon Hunter chasing now, still with the boots on, trying to get the burns in to make this as expansive as possible for Happy.
No way!
3 units around!
No
Oh
way!
my god! A glimpse of greatness by Happy! And all of a sudden, LawLiet is in trouble, trying to fight out, and he gets out. Lich joins, gets the Nova in, maybe a second chance for this surround. DK trying to get up front, but LawLiet is able to fix this situation, gets another mana burnout, and ooh, that was too close to comfort for me.
That Fiend, had it been 2 seconds faster, he could have stuck that surround again and forced the TP. Look at that reaction, though. And not only does he see the opportunity, he creates that trap in the first place to make a play right there. That is championship level playmaking. But it didn't quite work in the end. Like the lore cancel didn't quite work in the end. That's 3 ghouls going down. Not the end of the world, but we could say a slight lead for LawLiet, moving now towards what is the late game.
Big Invo Potion in this matchup, very, very helpful. It's a lot about consumables, especially in the late game. And this tournament in general seems to be the tournament of hero focus. I wouldn't be surprised if that would be the late game scenario here as well. Double level 3 for LawLiet intensifies the Fork Lightning, which especially against Fiends can be a good weapon. Happy, still waiting for the Ghoul Frenzy for the Destroyers. He's not ready yet.
Expansion is being started. Level 3 heroes on the Night Elf side, of course, pretty strong right now. But the Demon Hunter making sure there's no mana on the Undead side left. Fork Lightning comes in, lots of damage, pressure on the Fiends right away. And here we see the micro by LawLiet that he's so known for. He's going to try to take out as much as he can while saving his units at the same time. Archers will certainly quickly be dying, but the Dryads are nimble. Next Fork Lightning, more kills, more slow. LawLiet with a good exchange right here.
That eliminates a big threat for the upcoming expansion. Of course, Happy is getting kills as well, but not the big ones. And the longer you spend time next to the undead heroes as a Demon Hunter, the better it is. Naga coming in now, gets a little bit of crowd control. Naga by LawLiet under fire. Now the Demon Hunter as well, but there's still the TP, and he has, of course, the boots, so it should be he should be able to get out. All these ghouls dying renders the Ghoul Frenzy upgrade rather useless.
Yeah.
And makes this expansion a lot safer.
Is it safe though? No, it's not. It was so important for Happy to be able to stay in that fight, the statue and the late Naga securing it. If LawLiet pushes Happy back right there, if Happy's control had been a little bit worse, he would have had the Expo and a big lead. Canceling the expansion certainly costs some resources, but not that much. You get 75% back. However, now the issue is going to be LawLiet going to be playing dual hero against a late game triple hero on the undead side.
The question is that even too favorable for Happy? Because sometimes you really want that Coil Nova action on high level. Now the Naga is soaking up experience and LawLiet prevents that. Nice little mana burn, getting closer to level 4. So Remo, tell me, Naga could be a double-edged sword?
Yeah, could certainly backfire later on, could end up being a liability. However, If Happy has a creep lead, experience lead, normally the Undead heroes tend to come out on top. Gets level 4 in the DK, the aura, I keep mentioning it, so strong. Demon Hunter in a weird position, very far forward, needs to be careful. Does have the staff. Invoke potion on the Lich, perhaps slightly mistimed.
It was a big one.
Or did he perhaps prevent the Fog Lightning? Maybe there was a Fog Lightning there that I didn't quite see because the Naga on the other side had mana. Bear goes down, of course, with the staff on cooldown. That's another big pick-off for Happy. Supply is still pretty damn even. LawLiet now going with expansion attempt number 2 in the top left. That one looks a bit desperate, I almost want to say, because this would be an easy cancel for Happy, but only if he finds it and goes there.
And he doesn't yet. Okay, interesting to see. Ultra Vision coming in as well as the first attack upgrade for Happy. The scouting usually marvelous. He will be figuring this out with skeletons and whatever. But first, more creeping. As he doesn't have a level 3 Lich yet, feels like he sees this as mandatory. Wants a Fork Lightning as well for the intensifying nuke.
Could be a big item. Ruined Braces, probably the best, but lots of good ones here. Robo the Magi is good for the Naga, but it's not really the best one right there. Happy, what did he get? Periapt for the Naga on his side, actually really good to make her more tanky. Level 2 on that hero, level 3 almost on the Lich. Happy is starting to get to the late game high hero level territory once again. We have a Creepjack at the fountain. LawLiet does have good health regen right here, but doesn't want to take this fight.
6 supplies still missing. Goes for the Naga here. Gets there safe. Yes, TP transferred. And LawLiet gets back home into the safety of his own base without dropping anything really. Gives up on a little bit of experience. And of course, that TP costs quite a bit. But he gets home, gets the orb. And that is such a powerful weapon here. And of course, Happy is on the opposite side of where he wants to be, should be. Upper left-hand side. This is what it's all revolving around. This expo is now up.
1 minute until it's mining with the Entangled Gold Mine finishing. Happy, as we said so many times already, has 2 options here. Either try to push it and destroy it, or counter-expanding. He would be a little bit delayed behind in the expo timing, but it wouldn't really be too late. Wouldn't be that big of a difference. But it seems like there's no intention so far for Happy to go for the counter-expo. I'm still not entirely certain whether he has scouted this expansion, however.
Not sure either. To point on that counter-expansion play, I think that would be pretty great, because as good as the Demon Hunter and Naga are for mana burn and tankiness and crowd control, against buildings, really not that great. Treants missing, which is usually the key to shut down buildings, and also no Panda Breath of Fire. The Fork Lightning might be great against Fiends, but it's useless versus buildings.
Happy comes in with a big timing, even bringing the ghouls that were left, morphing lots of destroyers.
Wow.
He has no statues on the ground, which is something that happens to a lot of undeads. Normally never to him.
There's one.
There is one, never mind. I am blind, all right. Maybe it just joined. A bit of health regen, mana regen on the ground, very important. Happy splitting off the destroyers in different directions, wants to get off some dispels, even has illusions here. This is a scary push by Happy, wonderfully timed. This expansion hasn't paid off at all yet.
LawLiet has to figure out that these are illusions. Is he ready for this defense? This is the crucial moment of map number 1, and LawLiet is just giving this up, apparently. No fight, no repair, nothing, and he must have a plan B now.
Yeah, he just invested into the Wind Tech, Ancient of Wind for Hippogriffs, but he doesn't have any out already. Very hard to make that work against a very good undead. If there's web, they might just end up being rather useless. We'll see how they will be able to be used here. Destroyers flying in, trying to take out the Shredder, but good protection. LawLiet, this is the best position for him. In the main, next to Shop and Moonwells. Is Happy really going to push in here?
Staff on the Naga, she's very well protected. A little bit of a bottleneck. 1 bear, 2 bears could close that door alongside the Demon Hunter, and Happy is backing off. He's okay. This is not going to work. I don't want to overcommit. This is way too important of a match to do a crucial mistake like this. He doesn't do mistakes, of course. Buddy. Wellspring coming. LawLiet is getting in important tier 3 upgrades, just a little slower as he wants to have it, and both are breaking upkeep.
I think we're starting to see the difference in where the resources were spent. LawLiet tried multiple times now with expansion, sometimes canceled, sometimes killed, also the Shredder. LawLiet tried to rely on economy, tried to invest into economy and get ahead with that in the late game, but Happy never allowed it. Happy did invest into economy, he invested into pure fighting strength. The second armor upgrade for him is about to finish. Fiends and Destroyers about to be at 2-2. That is ridiculously fast for a 1-base play at 15 minutes, and that makes this army for the undead terrifyingly strong.
And he also has 65 supplies, so not having a single defense upgrade for LawLiet, that kind of looks scary. Also going fairies over hippos. Happy has no web yet, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna have to be changed. Now sees the Ancient of Wind, and web should be queued right away. I think he canceled something to start that web.
Waiting for the lumber. And it should be there any second now.
Yeah.
Trying to go for the Hunter Soul to prevent more upgrades. Here comes web. How many hippos do we have? This might be the best moment. Hippo can do severe damage, and Happy immediately ejecting. Is there more damage to be done with the Fork Lightning? Anything? No, but Happy takes a bear out.
Yeah, lost the TP, lost no units, takes out a bear. It's a fairly even trade in this late game. 1 bear for 1 TP.
Attack upgrade first for LawLiet. He's finally getting into that situation. Man, 1 base, Night Elf Undead going into the 16, 17 minute mark. Rare to see. And Happy. Does he feel comfortable with this army yet? Apparently not without web, but now that it's finished?
I could certainly see that. We see the last green camp over here. Happy looking at his heroes. Can I level up anywhere? Nope. The creeping flame was pretty much perfect. Arriving exactly at the levels that he wants. 4, 3, 3. These are really good hero levels, especially if you get to 4, 4, 3. The undead hero levels are very, very strong. And the Night Elf, at that point in the game, on the other side, wants to be 5, 5. LawLiet, super far away from that still.
Yeah, and there's not much left on the map. I wonder how he's supposed to do that. Needs to keep the heroes up, therefore he has an Invo Potion and the Heal Potion. Of course, more investments that are not going into upgrades or units. So Happy is pulling away in supply. More Moonwills now for LawLiet, also getting ready for 80, but the question is, will Happy let him go there?
Huge army now for Happy, building up little by little. We see this all the time by him, right? Also against human. He doesn't have the big economy oftentimes, but still always builds the big army. That's because he creeps super efficiently and hardly ever loses anything. He only lost a couple of ghouls this whole game. Disease Cloud coming in, and this is going to make this undead army basically the perfect mix against Night Elf.
Whoa, look at the bottom right. Mountain Giants with Hardened Skin.
All right, that's a unit we don't see so much of anymore. More in the past, but can be good in a big fight. Stand the front line, use the taunt. Happy even setting up some Burrow Fiend traps. He saw that the hippos were patrolling around. Would love to catch some of those.
Oh, that could be the big play right here. Right here. Right here. Web 1, 2, 3. Got them all.
On 1 base economy and upkeep already. LawLiet has so little income. Happy saw that play coming. He also was moving his army in a way that he knew the scout was going to follow him there. Very smart by the Russian undead player, and this might just be now the signal to attack.
Exactly. That was a big loss. And you saw the player cam by LawLiet. Here we go. Burrowed Fiends. When do you ever face that? The player cam of LawLiet, he was leaning back, scratching his head, like, okay, that might have been it for game 1.
The Demon Hunter here on this map, Concealed Hell, not easy to make work. Maybe a little bit too hard. Demon, speaking of which, in trouble, gonna be staffed out and saved that way. LawLiet defending in his main. Shop taken out already. Demon Hunter has 1 health potion. No HP boosting items once again, by the way. Takes out the bear. That was the only bear.
Wow.
And now the rest of the army is super squishy with the exception of that Mountain Giant, including Demon Hunter. Has to use Invo Potion. That one's out of the fight early on. And now going for the Dryads. No armor upgrades on those against 2 Fiends. The Naga also has to be careful, and the Demon Hunter as well. Invo was over. Nova finds him. Another hero kill. Lots of those this time to be seen by Happy. Much more so than in the previous tournaments. Takes the 1-0 in as about convincing of a fashion as we've seen so far.
11-0. Surreal. Not perfect though. And I think LawLiet is doing better than most people expected. It's doing better than Moon did before, but not enough. In the mid game there was 1 fight where we thought, okay, now we're talking, now we're fighting. But when you think this is an even game, Happy has yet another trick up his sleeve.
Yeah, I feel like you need to come up with some kind of play. Like you saw that from Moon, for example, in the past. Use that second nighttime when the Naga freshly gets level 3 and try to catch the undead from behind when he's creeping before Frenzy is done, before he has the orb ideally. You can try to set up some traps. It's not easy, of course, but it seems like you need that 1 big play to get you into the game against Happy, because otherwise he will find it. We're gonna go to our weatherman and see what he has to say about map 1.
All right, thanks, fellas. So this is a very important part, not necessarily of the game, but of playing Demon Hunter against Undead in general. It's all about preempting the fight. We're going to see right now LawLiet always going in for mana burns with the solo Demon Hunter before he goes for a fight. Because if you're fighting an undead with full mana, just simply not going to be possible. So right here, we're going to see him go in. He's not going to commit in with the whole army, even though the army's right there. We see him just go in, forces the coil on the creep, gets the mana burn off and gets that last hit, does a little bit of damage on that Death Knight, forces it back. But what is he going to do? He's not, of course, going to commit in fully. He's going to go back. He's going to rejuve now the Demon Hunter. And then what's he going to do again? Of course, not commit the whole army. He's going to go back in, get another mana burn on the Lich, and then he's finally ready to fight. And we saw at the very end of the game, in that last big fight, what was the difference between right now and that fight? Happy had full mana. He nuked the Demon Hunter. It was easy peasy. When you're playing DH, it's all about preempting the fight, getting ready beforehand, and not engaging directly with the undead being fully prepared with a perfect position. And that's going to be something we need to look forward to when there's more Demon Hunter games. And that's it for me. We'll send it back to you guys.
2 maps away from $50,000 in the Undisputed World Championship. If he wins coming through this playoff bracket, there's no what-ifs whatsoever. Focus, Moon, LawLiet, crazy happy.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of other players already this tournament peaking at the right time. Foggy was the talk of the town there as well. But everyone fails at times with the exception of Happy. He's been peaking for the last couple of years, it seems. Can he keep on doing it? We move on to map number 2. The challenger figured out how hard it was. In the bottom right, in the red for South Korea, LawLiet.
And on the upper left-hand side in the yellow, wearing the helm of the Dominator, everywhere he goes, he's happy. Alright, Remo, you know we casted this NEXT final between LawLiet and 120, and I gotta give credit to LawLiet. This first map looked a lot better than the entire grand final over there.
That's a silver lining, perhaps something he has to look towards. You know, keep your spirits up, take it one map at a time, and convince yourself that you can win, because he can indeed win. Was able to do that in the past in the most amazing fashion with Warden back then. But again, it's not going to be the Warden, neither is it going to be Keeper. Seems like LawLiet is convinced Demon Hunter works best. We see him here again.
Okay, Happy taking the lead, Happy picking up momentum, but LawLiet not chanceless at all. Demon Hunter on Tidehunters. Interesting choice. Of course, we have to take a look at the creep routes. How fast can he progress? Can he expand this time?
Yeah, that fast level 3 absolutely gonna be crucial, but Happy's movement earlier against Moon was really amazing. He got the level 2, crept up a bit more, picked up some items, but then realized, alright, you don't have Entangle to control me, no Treants to threaten me further, so there was always an option, a window to find that expansion cancel for a long time, of course. Later on in Tier 2, Moon was able to get that expansion running, but it was too late to really win the game for him. And I think Happy knows exactly what is gonna have to be done this time around if LawLiet tries to expand as well. But will he do that? Perhaps not, at least not that fast.
First blood on map 2 goes to LawLiet, takes out the Acolyte. Again, not denied, so it's a little bit of a jump start when no steals here. Gloves to face, nice little damage boost for the Korean, and Happy continuing to creep up as well. Not too much damage, not too many spins from the Sea Giant, can certainly be happy with that as well. But yeah, it's about the expos, it's about the economy, and that is the question for the next 2 to 3 minutes in this game.
Very nice creeping by LawLiet. As we always know him to be doing, right? He is the king of creeping for the Night Elves. Pulls out the camp, that way the creeps will not be casting their spells, and gets 2 nice finds here for the Demon Hunter right away in level 2. Gloves and Circlet, very good. It's the good thing about creeping these camps with the Demon Hunter. Whatever you find, it's good. Of course, Circlet and Claws, always good. Also, Gloves are good, and even the Ring is good.
LawLiet trying to get a detonate off against the Skellies, but not too much targets there, or not too many targets here. Here we go. Demon Hunter comes in, mana burn immediately, can't get the last hit then. Coil on the Ghoul, and here come the scary surround attempt by Happy. LawLiet has to be quick on his feet to dodge every single one of them.
Absolutely, needs to be staring at his Demon Hunter right here. He has amazing Demon Hunter control, but he cannot slip 1 second, especially now. Before he has boots, this is very scary. Once he has boots, he can be a bit more daring. Can't get the last hit there. And just for a second, he stopped moving. Can he get out? The archers are here. Now he can fire back, actually, against these ghouls, looking for his own kill. But of course, Happy, quick on the reaction. Pulls that one back. Saves it. Looking for the next surround. It's a delicate dance here between ghouls and archers. Both can die very easily.
Yeah, that feels like he wants this surround. There's a wisp ready for detonate against skeletons. The archers are ready to deal with the ghouls. And Happy is taking heavy damage, but of course not losing units in this early game. LawLiet floating 400 gold. Might be in time for the... Well, might need the Hunter Soul very, very soon. Except he wants to go air.
Yeah, definitely needs the boots first.
There we go.
Hunter's Hall coming now. And now with the boots, he can be a bit more daring.
Happy's got them as well.
Counter boots. Ooh. And shows them very early. Normally boots means Naga second on the undead side, and LawLiet knows about it right away.
Okay, what's the counterplay then? What does it change in the momentum of the undead player when you're not going for the Lich, but a faster hero?
Yeah, the Naga coming from the tavern comes out right away. You can look to be aggressive, especially against archers, extremely strong. And of course, you're also going to spawn in the middle of the map. Might be a problem later with a lower level Nova, but in the mid game, very, very powerful. The Night Elf against that ideally would love to be level 3 Demon Hunter. If you get level 3 Demon to have the level 2 mana burn, you can chase that enemy Naga around very well. So I think priority now for LawLiet should be just creep as heavily as you can right now and get that level 3.
Well, as heavily as you can or as heavily as you're allowed to, because Happy is moving forward. Can't catch a single ghoul. It's a scary early mid-game army, of course. And Happy, hesitant with the surrounds here, knows the archers are close, knows the Demon Hunter has a lot of armor, so not that easy to take him down or to force the TP. That's another surround. Can he break out once again? Ooh, the hitbox? Yes, it's working, and the Wisp is coming in at the right time too. Is he going for a counter surround here? It's nighttime. He could hide these archers.
Great movement by LawLiet. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but a deny on the archer. He was able to get that ghoul because the Demon Hunter was attacking the ghoul and blocking it at the same time. Really hard to do, but LawLiet again, we say it time and time. Very, very good in the micro department. But now the demon has to run away and heal up from the Moonwells. Happy didn't realize that there's archers standing there. If he did, that dust could have gotten a triple kill.
Exactly. He had it ready, and he went, where are you?
Panda!
Whoa, okay. Wow. We are switching things up. LawLiet is inviting to a barbecue for ghouls. That is good AoE damage, of course. Good creep speed. Moving away from the Naga. Here's the dust. Also decides to go for the breath early on. No fast creeping, no early crowd control with the Drunken Haze like Moon did earlier. Demon Hunter is back to the party.
Yeah, very similar strategy to Moon indeed. Even without a level 3 demon to back him up, the Panda is going to be chosen. I guess the idea here being he's going to try to expand and then mass dry it up, and with that you need a strong second hero. Couple of archers went down, but they will be replaced soon by the Dryads.
Expansion almost finished. Of course, has to move over, has to entangle. Dryads are coming too. Nature's Blessing upgrade. Maybe a little late. This tree will be very slow. Happy on the way to tier 3. There might still be time for LawLiet to make this work. Was there a lot of ghoul kills? Not really, right? The Panda didn't get one, the Demon Hunter 2.7, and this is scary now. One of the biggest spots on the map, and Happy is right there.
And of course, it's exactly what you want to do against the Panda second, and if there's no Demon Hunter 3, then you want to be hyper aggressive like we're seeing here. If the Shredder goes down, that's very expensive. It would be a big problem. The Archer's certainly going to fall, but the Shredder should be surviving. LawLiet trying to force that TP. Just wants to have Happy out of his face. The Naga still has a bit of health to work with, the Demon Hunter chasing, and not having that level 2 burn. Such a big problem here for LawLiet.
Hectic, stressful game. Demon Hunter still chasing level 3. Excellent. Gets another mana burn off. Big question, did the Shredder survive? The ghouls were chasing him. Super stressful moments. One Fiend and the ghoul. Not sure, man. Eliza, 27 supply. That's literally nothing.
Yeah, Happy, by the way, here with a big play. Pulls in the 4 ghouls from the main to keep pressure on the creeping. That destroyed the Ancient of War. Oh my god, did the Shredder also fall?
Yep. He was chasing it while the heroes were battling each other. The ghouls were chasing after the Shredder and killed him eventually. That hurts. That hurts big.
Shredder and Ancient of War. Normally you want to have the Shredder because you need a lot of lumber for Dryads, and also you can put the Shredder on lumber and you can bring the Wisps over from the main. So that's also going to cost more gold, having lost that Shredder now. Happy, again, realizing exactly how aggressive he has to be. In this matchup, it's unbelievable. He always knows the perfect play to go for.
All the grand finals versus Foggy leading up to this. Happy is making strides towards his second World Championship after WGL Summer 2019. And LawLiet, he must be... Is this Groundhog Day? I've been in a grand final against Undead and things are looking pretty similar. He needs a big play now to even out the odds.
Yeah, he needs some good items, especially that level up on the Panda. He needs some more DPS. Happy is about to upgrade heavily in terms of army power. Lich coming in, Orb, Frenzy, Destroyer form. All the things he needs. And very likely with that, he's going to be pushing across the map. LawLiet looking far from ready for that.
Yeah, only a couple of Dryads. Expo didn't start mining. Goes for more Wisps. Supply count is really not that high. More items being sold. Gets the Slippers for that little bit of extra damage boost. But Happy is taking the time. Ghoul Frenzy ready, waiting for the Destroyer push. The clock is ticking. LawLiet needs to do something here. Can he distract somehow? He's also not in a position for that, right?
Not really. Happy getting a good item here. Sort of accuracy from the lab. LawLiet also badly needs an Invul Potion.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have one, heading into the fight, he's going to get Coil Nova'd right away and either has to back up and run away with the hero instantly or TP out. Of course, and that's the big problem. Because of this creep track, he also needs to creep. He needs a Panda level 3 and an Invul Potion, but he can only get one of them, and now he's going to be stuck without Invul and perhaps even stuck without level 3.
Happy's massive force with the flute, making another attempt of shutting down that second base. AP cancelled immediately. The Demon Hunter, what can he go for? Invul Potion was stolen by Happy, I guess. Only a heal scroll ready. The ghouls halfway surrounding that Tree of Life. It's the lifeline for LawLiet. What can he bring to the table? Is he just giving it up like on Concealed Hill, or is there a chance with a level 3 Panda?
I think he has to give it up. Finally, he is now level 3, but it's too late. Happy's timings, Razor Sharp as always. Fog Lightning and Nova and all the Wisp. There was more experience as well. Level 3 already on this Naga, who played super aggro at the beginning. Scourge Bone Chimes would be great for bears, but we are so far away from that. We only have Dryads at the moment. And the Demon Hunter feeling the pain of the Coil Nova instantly. Half HP and no rejuve for him.
No staff either! This might be the end right there. Heal Scroll saves him for the second TP. It's almost nighttime. Then Regen will hit the Moon Wells, but is it even enough? They look dry. Very, very dire situation for LawLiet, drinking the last sip, but Happy is going for the throat. Oh, one last evasion here. The Panda has to carry with the Dryads in his back, but Naga chasing super fast. Of course, a little bit of crowd control. The Dryads, they have to do it. Happy, is he lining up something? Not really. Demon Hunter escapes, but how to get back?
Panda's DPS, is that going to be good enough? Nighttime, finally, we have Regen again, but also level 4 on the DK. Not too many Fiends left on the field, but the Undead hero's so strong. And if the Demon Hunter isn't part of this army, there's nothing that can be done about the heroes.
The block, scary, super scary. Can he get back into his base for a potion or something? A little bit of Moon Juice drop. The potion is ready. The Panda is having a drink to save his life into the coil. GG! Happy 12-0 and one step away from the World Championship.
Match point for the Emperor. Is he really going to do this? Perfect play by him once again. LawLiet trying it with a Demon Hunter. It seems a bit experimental though. This Demon Hunter play perhaps not super refined. It took him forever to get level 3. Normally that's your crucial part in the early game. Get that level 3, get the boots, and then control the game. Was he perhaps over-aggressive? Was it perhaps the wrong strategy? Is this the kind of question in his head? Is doubt entering his mind? This would not be the right time for it.
Looks like it, but he has some other tricks up his sleeve. We know he can play more strategies. Here we go. Surround by Happy, very, very quick, just like on Concealed Hill. Takes the Demon Hunter out, slows him down. It feels like at every step of the game he knows how to buy the time he needs for this ultra strong, razor sharp tier 3 timing.
Yeah, every bit of movement, every creep route, everything seems to be lining up perfectly for Happy. He and Foggy, having played so much against each other over the years, have gotten so good at that matchup. LawLiet himself, a master at this. If he gets into the late game with strong heroes, I really do still trust in his micro. But of course, Happy's going to be right there on that level with you, at the very highest level of army control. He shows that here once again, but not just that, also the decision making, knowing every time where to go. You know, bringing 4 ghouls in the middle of the game across the map because you know the Panda must be creeping that, and he didn't scout that before. He just knew he had to go there. All right. First 2 maps in the books. Can LawLiet bring it back? We're going to go to a short break, and then we'll find out.
Happy is about to write history, one map away from the World Championship without dropping a single map. He's been part of 7 DreamHack competitions thus far. He has won it all. Never have we seen such a dominant player in the history of this game. Of course, there was Moon in the 2007 area. There was a Sky in the 2005 and 6, Infi and TH in the early 2010s. But this is unparalleled. 3 match points for this guy. Will he win this event? Really, $50,000 if he wins Northern Isles. In the bottom left-hand side for Russia, the Emperor, Happy.
In the top right, in the red, still alive with the chance, is LawLiet.
Northern Isles, Remo. This is the map where the victory of LawLiet began in the ESL Cup in that semi-final. That historic semi-final, I want to say, because it's the only semi-final in ESL Cup that Happy ever lost. This is a keeper, and this might very, very well be a totally different strategy. If he does the same as a couple of weeks ago, then this is going to be massed air and a whole new challenge for Happy.
Yeah, it would be a bit of a return to the old school style. In the Keeper days, the mass air style was very popular, and a lot of undeads were struggling against that. Happy was always, especially in comparison, very good against it. It fell out of favor. The Fairy Dragons also were nerfed a little bit a while back, but it can still work. On the right map, with the right strat, with the right timings, it can work. And it does seem LawLiet has to change something up. This Demon Hunter stuff apparently not working against Happy. Now gonna trust in the Keeper, and yeah, I think you're right. I think this could very well, should very well be that mass air style.
Okay, he defeated Happy with that on 180 MS. Can he do it on land conditions? Happy is scouting this out. He's okay. New challenge. Has to adapt a little bit. Maybe play this a little more careful, as Entangle can, of course, wreck your units early. But this is also Happy crossing the map pretty much right away.
It's probably going to go for what we've been seeing by him against Keeper almost every single game recently. DK harassing instantly to slow down the Keeper, and the ghouls will be creeping a little bit later across the map to level up that DK as well. Slows down the tech a bit because you're going to need backpack to pick up items and all that. But if you pull it off well, like Happy has been doing, it's a very strong opening.
For LawLiet, it must feel like history repeating. Back then at WCA 2016, played an incredible tournament and then met Lin. Boom, roadblock, no chance in the finals. In NEXT, he surprised us all again. It's like, hey, he's peaking here. But there was 1-0 in the finals. Boom, 0-3, no chance. These grand finals, feels like it's always there. He's not there yet. He has to win 3 maps in a row against Happy. This mission impossible. But I like that he throws a curveball. And I think this was prepared. He's going back to what worked before.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Keeper can still always work. Some players have lost a bit of faith in him, including LawLiet. But in the right game, this can certainly still work out very, very well. Keeper would love to be off to a hot start, get that level 2 right away, and get that level 3 beyond, and then work with the strength of level 2 Entangle. And, well, this is looking like a good start, at least in terms of items. Circlet and Mantle, exactly what he wanted.
Yeah, Happy once again protecting himself from that Keeper harass. Narrow Tower in the base, Claws for Happy, and Creeping Start. So everything calms down a little bit. Tech for LawLiet has started, and we still don't see a Hunter's Hall, but an expansion, so we're getting closer and closer to a mass air build.
Making it a bit proxy even. Wants to make sure no ghouls come in to easily cancel it with the right timing. Claws for Happy, and he got the level 2. But not the super fast creeping that we sometimes see from Happy. He is still very far away from 3.
He has a tele staff to get out of possible entangled surrounds. No big last hit thus far. LawLiet with +5 damage. Not too bad. Archer goes to the Russian, I think. Skeleton's doing nice damage. We're still dancing around each other for that one roll remaining.
The timing is perfect. The Keeper's low mana already. The ghouls are coming in, looking for the surround. Keeper evades it just barely. DK super low HP. If this expansion is cancelled, that's a big problem. Happy could easily commit to it.
This is not how it's supposed to end. How do you defend this force? The ghouls coming in early once again. Unexpected for LawLiet, I guess. Happy realizing the situation, gets the cancel off. This is brutal.
LawLiet already made it a little bit proxy to ensure that the expansion was going to finish. Oh, cloak on the ground. Picks it up, the backpack there coming into play. Happy again with a sick read. He drains mana out of the Keeper, tries to steal some lasses, tries to buy time, and then the ghouls come in at the perfect moment to get that crucial cancel. With the Keeper, you absolutely cannot to play without an expansion.
Call the boys and do terrific damage. Is this gonna be a 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 grand final day by this tournament that has been bringing us so much joy? Keeper level 3. He got that ghoul, but Happy is creating a lot of space with that one skeleton.
Here to finish for LawLiet, second hero of choice can be quite a few different ones for Night of Nowadays, and we're going with the Demon Hunter here.
Okay.
Can be the strongest late game option, but is the hardest to creep. Panda and Alchemist, of course, come out faster from the tavern and also are better at creeping to begin with Acid Bomb or Breath of Fire or Drunken Haze and all that. I wonder how he's going to try to creep this one.
Yeah, that's a good question. We have double engine of wind coming up. He didn't lose too many archers, so the Hippo Rider army will be quite powerful before we go into Fairy Dragons, who are of course unnukable as they are magic immune. Improved bows coming, and Happy starts creeping. Of course, he doesn't feel too comfortable without a level 3 DK, and this is what he's aiming for. Item on the ground, great Samana. For the first time in a long while, Happy gets the best item possible.
At the right moment in map 3 in the grand final here on match point for Happy. Oh, that's a cool creep. Oh, look at that. LawLiet, we say time and time again, master of creeping. Pulls out the big creep and then the Keeper runs away to give solo experience to the Demon Hunter. Really cool. Sobi Mask, good for the Keeper. Not so much for the Demon. We saw under-leveled and under-equipped Demon Hunters plenty of times this series already having a tough time if they get nuked right away.
Yes, of course, Happy is back there again. As a little... Oh, cool reaction. Keeper's coming in. Almost a desperate attempt to get to go for that kill. Despite the narrow tower, he's getting blocked, he's getting slowed. Is the Lich in time? No, he's far away. I think as a little summary of the series so far, we can say that LawLiet is doing way better than Focus and Moon, and for the first time we say about a Happy series that it's because of Happy's greatness, not because his opponent is doing any mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Another question is, how is Happy going to adjust? He should have realized by now the Mass Air is going to be the play for the opponent. It's very different from the Dryad strategy. He's going to need Fiends and Web quickly, obviously. And the question is also, is he going to push or not? We have seen from Happy specifically and also other undeads a lot of counter-expanding against this kind of playstyle.
Would of course give LawLiet another opening to attack. It's very hard to be at two spots at the same time. But also the question, how does he want to play this Mass Air? You can of course go into fights which then result into minute-long kiting games, or you can try to play it a little lamey, just like Undead plays Gargoyles, and go for some worker hunting. Wand of the Wind could become a factor in a fight when you prevent a coil at a perfect time.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially when there's only few Fiends out, getting 1 or 2 kills when we're still in no upkeep can make a huge difference. So yeah, Wand of the Wind can be absolutely amazing. And so has been the creeping for LawLiet. Look at that, Demon Hunter level 3 already. So hard to manage that on this map specifically, because the Ancient of War creeping in the mid-game is really hard to make work, but here LawLiet was able to do it. However, Demon Hunter, very low HP, basically begging to be Coil-Novad.
Yep, there's an Invo Potion. He's not really relying on the fact to dodge that, right? That would be ultra high risk, and you can easily fall from the high wire. And there is the harass, and Happy has no web yet, just backpack, the only upgrade he has. Frenzy blocking the crypt as well, so he can't really go for that. He's muscling up for that push once again, wants to defend this with an upgraded tower alone. That buys some time for LawLiet, rising up in supply early because his units are of course weak. He needs them in masses.
Demon Hunter feels the pain right away off the coil. The Nova also. TP transferred to the Demon. LawLiet tried to buy more time, but Happy now forces the opponent back, and this is going to be it. This is going to be the big push. Importantly, the Demon Hunter still has that Invo Potion. Can LawLiet hold here? Happy is not counter-expanding. This will be the all-in push.
And this might be the final moment of DreamHack Warcraft 3. If Happy goes through this successfully, he's the world champion and he's $50,000 richer. Pendant, greater mana, claws on the lich. This inventory is looking impeccable. LawLiet has a supply lead, but that might be the only advantage he has.
Yeah, he's got decent levels and items as well, and the Fiend count on the other side is not too high yet. This is not the worst position for LawLiet. He's getting a 70 supply, Moonwell as well, can produce more now if he wants. Only 2 webs he can work with. Going for the Keeper right away. Has to fall back to the shop, has to go for a potion, and he will. Going for the Lich instantly. We have a Dispel against the Cyclone. Lich will survive. And that hero focus attempt didn't quite work out. Heal Scroll coming in as well. The next Wand of the Wind also. But with these Wands of the Wind, we don't see the kills actually occurring.
Oh man, he needs to burn again. Prevents the coil. Okay, Keeper, how do you save him? He has no staff. He has no potion anymore. Wild fights. LawLiet still with a supply lead. He's chasing so hard. Basically abandons his expansion here a little bit.
No web at the moment. Keeper needs to be careful. Far in. Against the Coil Nova, he could die right away, but there's no mana at the moment on the undead side. The Ghoul's still chasing with Frenzy, do a lot of damage, but LawLiet, the air might be able to clean up for him. Taking out the Destroyers, one very low HP pulls it back, but important level up now. DK getting level 4.
Come on, he needs more units. He needs stop production, just more and more and more. Gather the masses. He's spending so much gold on items, of course, potions all the way. A second staff would be amazing. And LawLiet going for that hero focus. Many have tried that and failed against Happy. And the Wand of the Wind, I don't know if that was perfectly timed here, but Happy's first big push stopped.
Yeah, nice defense there by LawLiet. Now he's hoping to be left alone for a while. If you get up to 70, maybe even 80 supply mass air, it becomes very hard for the undead to counter that. If you have a huge Fiend army and great micro, that part of course is a given for Happy, you can do it. But the thing is, the Ghouls weren't killed. They're still here, they're still soaking up supply. It's the Fiend count that's the big problem for the Russian right now.
And we gotta say, in this fight, the big mana potion was consumed already, and that's a big plus, taking that item away out of Happy's hands. Thirsty undead heroes love that item, but of course they also love big items they get from the red spots. LawLiet into 3 heroes. Looking good. This is probably the best attempt he's had all series.
Oh yeah, very clearly that is the case. Cloak of Flames, the first very bad item for Happy. This is gonna be literally useless, but gonna be some valuable gold, I suppose. Happy, of course, being on one base only, doesn't have very good economy to work with. Cloak of Flames on the Demon is okay, helps a bit against Fiends, but he would have loved to have more HP. Low HP Demon Hunter, we've seen it being very problematic before. LawLiet needs to be careful about hero nukes.
Would have loved to have more movement speed as well in kiting situations. That is key. On this map we have a marketplace, so have an eye out if there's a sale of Unholy Auras or Endurance Auras.
Lich starting to look quite scary. Double claws and gloves. This one is going to be hurting quite a bit. But the Fiend count, I mentioned it time and time again, still very low. We have so many air units now. LawLiet closing in on 70 supply, getting ready for a third base.
Wow.
No upgrades, no transition, but just heavy production and heavy economy.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. I was looking for a Hunter's Hall coming in because with attack upgrades, of course, this army, because you have so many units, gets a lot stronger. Not the case here. And that might be the right one. If Happy muscles up for another push and you lose that one expansion, you might have a backup, or you force Happy to push into the upper left and save your 12 o'clock expansion with it. But at the moment, it's just dead resources, not doing anything for him. LawLiet has a town portal and might be using it soon because Happy is once again aiming for the throat and aiming for the throne.
A moment ago, I thought the Fiend count was low, but it turns out the Fiends were just parked in the main. Suddenly, we have like 6 real Fiends and illusions. That's 7 Fiends, in fact. And with that, Happy might be able to win this fight. LawLiet TPs into the middle of absolutely everything. More and more illusions. We have 6 charges going for the DK right away. Deathline a bit of trouble. Has potions to survive with. Pulls himself back. Heal Scroll first. Holds on to the potion. Still has a TP, of course, also. Destroyer goes down. Level 4 on the Demon Hunter. Important level right there. Illusion, somehow LawLiet figures out exactly what the real Fiends are. It seems like takes out another one. Nuke on the Demon Hunter. He drops low, but still potion available on him. Makes it back to the Moonwells. Good fight so far for LawLiet. He has a supply lead, but he needs that mass. If these numbers start dropping, it might turn around. Happy kiting towards the back. Statues healing up a bit. Still the Fairy Dragon, Fairy Fire also doing a good job, or the Mana Flare rather. Demon Hunter going for the Lich, Invo Potion on him as well. We have to be careful about the timings. Demon Hunter is going to be in trouble in a moment. Can he save him? Demon Hunter exposed, LawLiet down to 56 supply, only staff out. Back to the main. There's Moonwells there, he needs to heal quickly. These undead heroes now for Happy are quite terrifying. 5 and 4 on DK and Lich.
What can he do now? The Demon Hunter needs to carry. Can he clean this up? Lots of units about to drop for LawLiet, but one destroyer only. That's limited. Dispel and Tangle might be good. Aiming for the Lich once again, but there's constant healing. The Fiends look nice as well. This is a decisive moment in this fight. Web coming in. Not too much kiting for Happy yet, but a lot of focus fire, a lot of damage. Going for the Lich once more. Demon Hunter again down to 1/3. Gotta be so careful as he has no items.
Oh, all the webs now catching. That's so many kills. A ton of experience as well. This is about to get level 5. That Nova would hurt like crazy. This Cloak of Flames actually turning out to be quite good. The Demon Hunter doing most of the damage, almost all of the damage. Staff. Last second. One more save, but also more kills for Happy. 5 on the Lich. About to be 6 on the DK.
LawLiet, is he running out of steam? He's trying to produce, but he's down to 4D supply, and we talked about it. You need the mass. Is there still hope? The statue on the ground, again a blessing for the undead. Level 6 for Happy, alongside level 5 on the Lich. Is this the last resort? Potion on the Demon Hunter. He needs to carry, he needs to burn, he needs to inflict the damage. So far, LawLiet is holding on. The second expansion has finished, has entangled. He has 3 bases now.
But where's the damage? It seems to be only the Demon Hunter. LawLiet, how can he find these kills? Heal Potion on the Demon, trying his best, running in. He's not taking too many nukes, but he's being chipped away at. Little by little, staff may have to be used here. Once again, another fairy gets caught. Easy kills. These webs, super effective. And the Moon Juice, Neo, is looking dire.
Moonstone used, I guess. It's nighttime now. This expansion probably falling. Wisp will get rid of a little bit more mana. LawLiet is engaging again at desperate times, I guess. Just more and more Fiends, just more and more web. The Frost Armor is such a nice defensive weapon in the hands. The Demon Hunter always slowed down. And LawLiet also, 500 gold, needs to get more items, needs to spend that extra gold he gets. It seems like Happy is just killing every single unit that's getting produced.
Hasn't lost anything in a while, up at 60 supply, super strong with his Fiend army, 1-0 upgrade only, I guess you can say. For once, a Fiend slips too far forward, gets caught, but also denied. No more experience for LawLiet, he's not getting that level 5. Where's the Lich? 5.5. The level 3 Nova would nuke and one-shot all the Wisps if they come out to repair Happy. Might be able to close it out and claim the throne.
What can LawLiet do? Stemming against the fence. Going for the Hunter's Fall, but these upgrades will last forever. Coil, Nova, or actually just Nova. Level 3 Unholy Aura is so much regen these feet. Oh, Coil, careful! Demon Hunter staffed out 7 HP. LawLiet facing defeat and Happy one hand at the trophy.
More Wisps getting taken out. If this tree falls, it might be game. There's another one, but simply no army. The Fairy Dragons will fall off in the later game, as we see here so impressively. We don't even have destroyers anymore. Never mind, there's one. Demar is back in. He needs to do the damage, the big damage, but he doesn't have the Orb of Venom. It's only the right clicks, and I guess the Mana Burn plus the Cloak of Flames. Coil flies defensively, but it's GG! That's it! Happy! He does it again!
And without dropping a single map. When have we ever seen such dominance? He shuts up all doubters, the big what-ifs. What if he meets X-Lord? What if he is on land? The answer is he's simply the greatest, and he's simply the best in this very game. Unbelievable. This man is just unbelievable. There's no shadow of a doubt who's the best player in the world in Warcraft 3. It's Happy.
Absolutely. With what hell of a performance. Actions speak louder than words, and he had all the right actions. No mistakes throughout an entire tournament. Unbelievable what the Russian star was able to do here. And we have him with Todd for our winner's interview.
Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations. Happy, flawless throughout the tournament. Are you even surprised this was possible at this point? Or did just every game go perfectly according to the plan? Did this go as you planned the whole time?
No, I didn't expect to win without dropping a map. To be honest, certain maps were really close. Like, for example, this one last map, I didn't expect it to win at all. Or, for example, my game against Sok in group stage, I didn't expect to win at all, but I'm very happy that I could have won a tournament without a single map.
I would love to talk about each maps individually, so let's start with Conceal Hill. He was playing with Demon Hunter, and at some point you had this great move with the Fiends, catching his air units. Then after that, actually, I saw you smile a little bit and even say something out loud. Like, is there any chance you could tell us like what was going through your mind at this point? Did you just know the game was won, or were you just very content with that action?
Well, actually, I didn't say anything. I was just like trying to bait him, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy it worked actually. Yeah, and for other things in this game, I think he lost because he thought he can just set up expansion and hold it, but then he seen I had too big army, he decided to give it away, but it was probably a mistake because his upgrades were 0-0 I think entire game, and by the time I pushed his expansion I had 2-1 already, so I could not really lose most likely in the late game.
And then on Tidehunters, it seemed like this creepjack on the lab was big, so is that just a result of how much practice you've put in and you know perfectly exactly when to go for some creepjack? Because LawLiet is known for his great creeping, and now you just didn't allow him to go for it. You sniped a very important shredder. Do you think that after that you were just too far ahead, or was it still up in the air?
Well, actually I thought he will be creeping the orange spot with nulls, but then I seen the panda and I seen he was moving to the observatory. I guess he wanted to just get level 3 Demon Hunter. This is why panda was away. Well, I didn't expect to do so much damage because actually I was a little bit too greedy, because like one more hit and hero would have died. I didn't really wanted to teleport at all. But then yeah, obviously after he lost Shredder, that's a lot of money, and he also lost Ancient War, so he could have not proceeded to creep that spot so soon. So I just knew that I will go for push and win after that.
And then map 3, Northern Isle, he plays the mass air style, and I don't know if you get necessarily the most practice against this, because usually you're playing Foggy and he's playing the Keeper Demon style with Dryad. So was there any worry, or had you played enough in the past against that style to know exactly everything you need to do? Because you looked flawless, like you just got such high levels, you microed perfectly as you usually do.
Well, I know how to play against it, it's just not being played often. I would say nowadays Night Elves, if they go for air, they try to get Panda second and try to do some base trading. Well, in this game it wasn't really going too well because I think he probably could have had 2 Ancient Wars because he had a lot of archers, so I think I stayed at his natural expansion when he was creeping way too long. I should have backed off and get level 3 Death Knight instead. After that, well, I think his mistake was not to dispel with Wisps because I had so many illusions that was like the only my chance. And also I think his teleport wasn't too good, like it felt like he teleported in just one place and everything got webbed, and then, well, I just had too much. But actually I didn't expect to win that game.
Well, it's funny how you end up winning them all anyway. I'm curious, in the past you were a very strong Warcraft 3 player, then you went to StarCraft 2, and then you came back to Warcraft 3, and now, without the shadow of a doubt, we can say you're the best player in the world. Do you think, or what's the main attribute, or what's your main quality that helps you achieve this? Do you think it's your perseverance? Do you think you're the hardest worker by far? Or did you just perfect your practicing system and with the way you do it? How many hours you play, studying replays and all that?
Well, I'm very consistent player in everything, practice and overall gameplay, but I guess about, like, I'm the hardest working player, I can say for sure on this tournament. Cannot say overall because it will sound not too great, but on this tournament, sure, I was.
So usually I ask you about if you got any plans on what you're gonna do with some of the prize money. Now you win $50,000. I see you already sporting some pretty cool polo from Fred Perry here. So any plans to maybe buy some new drip, some new fresh clothes or anything like that? Or you haven't thought about that just yet? You were just focused on the tournament?
I bought one recently, a few months ago, just another color. No, well, actually just gonna put it for the better times because I mean, like, for the worst times, because I'm not sure if the better times are coming for Warcraft, so I will certainly need those money for the upcoming future.
Thank you so much, Happy. It's been a pleasure commentating your games. You're a well-deserving champion. I'll grab your microphone and then you can take this trophy one more time. You deserve it.
Phenomenal stuff. Happy is the best Warcraft 3 player in the world in the year 2021. As we are entering for the absolute last time this week, the Northern Takeover. The year is 2021 and Happy is the best. But you guys have to make sure that your cybersecurity is in order as well. We're gonna let all of that undead greatness just soak in and rain down upon us like the graffiti just rained down upon Happy. I'm once more joined by Todd and Carson. Carson, the man, has won the tournament without dropping a single map, 13-0, and he was dominant in almost every game he plays. I mean, what can we possibly say about Happy that we haven't said yet?
It was just an unbelievable performance. Every single game was near perfect, really. Even that last game, against all odds, really, like, he just backs up, creeps, gets the second crypt, and then he just destroys them. It's ridiculous. He comes back from games. I don't think any undead in history could have won some of these games, and he's just showing why he's truly probably one of the greatest players of all time.
Johan, LawLiet played a phenomenal tournament, of course, and he deserves all the love as well. The biggest payday of his career, second place, something he'd be very proud of. He played great. It just wasn't enough in the grand finals against the unstoppable force that is Happy.
Yeah, nobody had enough for him. Like, it wasn't even close score-wise. I mean, some of the games were, you know, a little bit close here and there, up until the point they weren't, because Happy is just so consistent. He mentioned it himself. I asked him what's his best quality, what makes him so good, and the first thing he said was that he's very consistent, and I think that's his best quality, but he definitely, in not answering, I mean, I asked him for one thing, to be honest, he almost downplayed the rest, because I think he's such a hard worker. He's really perfected how to practice, how to get better in every single aspect of the game. And that's what makes him the best in the world, in my opinion. That last game was absurd. Like, he hit the one timing that he could before the two expansions were gonna do too much, and the micro was just flawless.
Love it, Johan. Very well said. We had 4 amazing days of non-stop Warcraft 3 action over here at the DreamHack Warcraft 3 Championship. Let's go ahead and take a look at the groups one more time. It all started 4 days ago with groups A and B, where we had some absolute bangers. It was very close. Love the Night Out mirror in Group A. Unfortunately for Remind and Craft, it wasn't meant to be, but I think especially Remind displayed some great games, didn't he, Carson?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a lot of players that showed up and did well. I mean, Lukail got a map, Krav got a map. A lot of players that we thought would be massive underdogs still had good performances. I think especially the group stage was very hyped throughout. We had a lot of great, crazy matches. I think 3 stand out in particular. And then, you know, everyone showed up, everyone played, and we had a, you know, little bit of a one-side grand finals, of course, but that just shows how dominant Happy is.
Yeah, LawLiet really had to work for it in Group C, but in the end he did get the 2-1 in decided match over our Russian human player Hawk. Johan, that was just the group stage, it was good. Then we entered the playoffs on Saturday, and I think especially the quarterfinals, we had some absolute nail-biters. That final game of the day, or the second to last game between Hitman and Stock, I think was fantastic, but we saw great things throughout the entirety of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, this bracket was so crazy. Like, obviously going into this tournament, there were so many dreamy matchups that everybody was hoping we would see, and I think we got to see pretty much all of them for the most part, right? Happy versus Moon happens, X-Lord versus Hitman happens. We didn't quite get Hitman against Happy, but that's about it. But considering how the semis went here, I mean, did we even really need to see it? I'm not sure. Happy is just the best in the world, you know, and we've had some championships, we have a lot of championships in DreamHack, but it's through regions and it's online, so there's always, you know, those arguments like, does it matter as much? This was offline. It had a lot of the best players in the world. Very few of them were missing, which is unfortunate, but there was no way around it. Happy here, he leaves no question mark, really.
He really lived up to the moment. A lot of people thought Happy was the best Warcraft 3 player in the world. Well, he proved it in a very dominant manner throughout the last 4 days. Johan, Carson, it's time to wrap it up. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to be your host of the last few days. Big shout out to the Back to Warcraft boys as well. Obviously, no Warcraft tournament is the same without them. And this also officially marks the end of the EPT. I hope you guys enjoyed all the online broadcasts. And of course, we would have loved to have a big offline event and welcome the Warcraft 3 fans. Unfortunately, that is just not possible yet in this day and age with the COVID restrictions and all that. But we did our best to give you guys a lot of entertainment here from the DreamHack studios. It was a lot of fun. And one thing is for sure, this is not the last of Warcraft 3, because the game is too damn good and too damn beautiful. I want to thank all of you guys for watching, and have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be.